Hi, I'm Jack with QuickStock Films, and this is episode 6 of 10 of my film tool series about the small things that make film and video making easier and faster. This time I want to talk about the Aputure Amaron full-size LED panel and the Amaron quarter-size version. This is a love-hate relationship. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this episode short while I talk about these Aperture LED light panels. I'm going to start with, they are amazing. The light output is off the hook compared to just a few years ago, what LED panels were capable of. The CRI rating is way up there in the high 9s, 95, 96 CRI, which means the color clarity is nearly perfect. 100 is perfect. The problem I have with these lights is mostly a mechanical issue. So I'm going to take them one at a time, and we're going to talk about some of the mechanical issues I have with these lights. So the first one I'm going to talk about is what I call the quarter-size light, because it's essentially a quarter the size of the full-size version. And this is the Aputure Amaron ALH198. This is my favorite of the two lights, mostly because of size. And once again, you've heard me say this like 8 million times. Size is everything to me. And the output on this light blows away some of the LED lights I bought just a couple years ago that were twice the size. So I'm going to be replacing, I'm probably going to end up with about 4 or 5 of these here before too long. All right, we're going to talk about the mechanical issues with this light. First of all, it doesn't come with a battery, which might not be that big of a deal. I have a whole bunch of these Sony MPF style batteries around, and I use this MPF 770 on it, and this thing runs for like 2 hours at 100% power. I'm not going to talk about all the little details and how bright they are and everything. I'll just tell you they are freaking bright. These are, if you're looking for a crazy bright light, just buy these, okay? Some of the things that I absolutely love about this little light is it has this little adapter here that you slide it into whichever end you want to be. I've got upside down here. This little adapter has the 1/4-20 fitting on it, and you can put it on any corner of the light and do all kinds of things. So for example, if you want to put the hot shoe that it comes with on here, now you can screw it in here and put it on a hot shoe or a light stand or whatever you want. But if you had additional ones of these, you could put them on all corners, and you can stack these and make this light panel as big as you want. So that's sort of my goal, is that I'll end up with 4 or 5 of these things, and then I can stack them together to make one big light, or just use one of them if I need to. All right, so one of the problems with it is this is a hot shoe mount that comes with it, and it's actually a pretty good one. The problem is, though, there's no way to mount it to a light stand. It's hot shoe or nothing. So if you watched an earlier episode where I talked about these little 5/8 to 1/4 adapters, these things are amazing. If you don't know about these things, go back several episodes on my channel and watch the episode about these adapters. So you can put this adapter on the bottom of the hot shoe, and this will allow you to mount it to a tripod, or I mean not a tripod, but a light stand. You can screw this in the bottom, and now you can go directly to a professional light stand without having to screw anything on. In my opinion, it would have been good if it had some sort of a device that came with it, so you didn't have to buy an accessory, but it's a really, really cool light. And then another really cool bonus is it takes several sizes of Sony batteries. It'll take the little bitty consumer camcorder size battery, and then it will also take the larger MPF size batteries. And then under this compartment, if you lift this up, there's a place to put 6 AA batteries in here. Now I put 6 Duracell batteries in this, and it ran for almost an hour on AA's. So, you know, if you got somewhere and you killed all your batteries, and you could just go to a convenience store and buy batteries and continue to power this light. And that leads me to another little problem I have with it, is there is no way to power the light other than with batteries. So if I wanted to use this in a studio setting or somewhere where I was going to be in a fixed operation for a long time, I'd have to keep feeding it batteries. So I'm going to have to knock a point off for that. All right, the second light is the full-size Aputure Amaron, and this is like 11 by 7 size, and I'm not going to get into how beautiful it looks and the color temperature and all those kind of things. It is just a crazy good light for what they want for this light. And once again, the links of where you can find these are in the description below. If you're looking for LED lights, these two lights, you can't get better at this point, at this price point anyway. All right, my complaint or my issue with this light is, one, it doesn't come with a battery charger. I have a charger that will charge these batteries, and it probably would be beneficial if you did have that. But the problem is the batteries are really, really hard to get off. I mean, you need a screwdriver or something to get these off. And I know that after taking these on and off a couple of dozen times, I'm afraid the light's going to break. So I got to really knock some points off for the capture device for the batteries. Just isn't cool. This really needs work. So of course I do like others, is I just use the light to charge the battery, which isn't a real professional way to get things done, but it is convenient, and it does come with a good power supply that allows you to charge the battery. This is a really important update warning. If the batteries are left on this light for more than 5 days, they will drain and become dead. You must remove the batteries when not in use or charge them just before every use. This will let you down. There is obviously something about the light that drains the batteries when it's not in use. Aperture needs to take a look at this. All right, the other issue I have with this light is that, and I have this issue with almost everybody that makes LED panel lights, is that the good part is there's a 1/4-20 mount on 3 sides of this thing, so you can put mounting brackets on this any way you want. But Aperture's solution to this thing was they give you this deal, which, okay, it gets the job done, but it won't fit in the case with this on it, okay? And that just drives me nuts. That's my rapid deployment thing. I want to be able to take my equipment out and go directly to work. I don't want to have to be assembling anything or looking for parts or losing things. So their solution is, every time I want to use the light, I take it out of the case and I have to screw this in here. And now this allows me to mount it to a light stand. My solution to this was to not use this. There are instances where I would use it, but once again, I got another one of these 1/4-20 to 5/8 mounting adapters, and I mounted mine permanently to the light like this. And then this allows me to just take it out of the bag and drop it directly on a light stand, and I go to work. Now, if I do need to be able to tilt the light, well then, now I can interface with what they gave me, and I can drop that in there that fast, and now I can tilt the light. But once again, this is just entirely too long. This is plastic. I see this breaking very, very quickly. So, Aperture, you should have done your homework, or maybe in a future version, put a loop on this thing or a better way to mount this light. I'm really worried about the plastic housing. Although it is quite rugged, I really worry about it breaking off because of all the screwing and adapting I have to do. So, with that said, both of these lights, the light output part of this thing, off the hook. Buy the lights. If you're like me, where you're really particular about how they go in your bag and how quickly you can deploy them, might be a problem. You might look a little further. But I will tell you this, there aren't many companies, and I'm going to review a lot of lights in this series, there aren't many companies that have made a light that is truly portable without having to mess with it before you can put it to work and light your subject. I give this an 8, and it loses all the points because of the mounting structure on it and the fact that the batteries are very, very difficult to get off, and I'm afraid that the light is probably going to break before long trying to get these batteries on and off. So I hope someone from Aperture reaches out to me, and I'll be glad to talk with them about this, and I'll even be glad to work with them like I have on many other manufacturers to try to make these raise up to the number 10 on the Jack FPR rating, if that means a hill of beans to anyone. Please leave questions and comments that will help others to grow their knowledge about small tools used for film and video production. And if you would, hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll get a notification whenever I post a new button, whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.